going on? Every Dog Man Dan here. I don't do this normally, but every once in a while I talk about Devstreams. Devstream 86. So we'll kind of quickly go over some of the topics that were discussed. A little gameplay here going on in the background. I just happened to be home today, very sick. Hopefully I can get better. If not, I may actually have to go to the hospital this weekend, depending upon what happens after tomorrow. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's quickly talk about some of the stuff that's going on inside of Devstream 86. A lot of little things happen here, big things, however you want to call it. You know, Gift for Lotus is out there for 24 hours, of course. Glass Gambit released early on consoles. Okay. The Platinum Giveaway, Gaming Giveaway contest does end on February 1st. If you haven't gone over to Warframe.com, go check it out. Get yourself entered into the Platinum Prime. I shouldn't say Platinum. The Prime Gaming Giveaway, which is either an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4, or a PC game system. TennoCon is going to happen on July 8th. They don't have pricing and tickets yet, so just stay tuned. That'll get put up there on warframe.com/TennoCon, but it is going to be July 8th. I don't think that I have any intentions of getting up there. Again, it's just too much of a trip for me, but we'll see. Baby Sentinel, which is something they talked about now again, is looking to be introduced. It's kind of like what they'll be doing to introduce Sentinels to newer players, much like the Kubo quest, but this case will be a Sentinel quest. And there's a potential mechanic change in there, where for early players, where the companion, the Sentinel, will have the ability to steal health and shields from enemies and bolster it early game in survivability for newer players. They quickly showcased the Bard Warframe. It's coming along pretty well. They did a little video recap of a dancing type of thing from D.E. Danielle, graciously going into the studio, and they mimicked her dancing for it, which is alright. I don't know too much yet. I'm still kind of unsure until I get this one in my hands, because there's so much going on with the sounds that'll be available, and the sounds and the musical instruments and the mechanics in the future for it. That basically the mechanics, the sounds that you put out on your Warframe will, or your Bard frame will be depending, will make it dependent on what it does in terms of self and team buffs, damage outputs, overall noise level, boost damage, that type of stuff. So that is still a very much work in progress. It'll be interesting to see how they play that out. And in terms of synergies between people having 2 or 3 Bard frames in one mission. We're talking about that as well, where they can actually be matched together. So that'll be interesting. Quickly on sorties, they had a list showing how sorties started out really good and then they pretty much just dropped off. And then at the Riven launch, they came back up again. I think at this point, though, a lot of people are pretty much just done with the sorties yet again. And so they're hoping that with some changes, with the new melee Riven mods being implemented, possibly changing the drop rates a bit, people will be more interested in playing the sorties daily for the Rivens and such. And that is also going to lead them to making some changes where Assault and Infested Salvage will appear in random missions soon. They're going to remove endless stacking, and they're changing the RNG and hopefully preventing players from getting the same reward in a row, especially on long streaks of playing it non-stop like every single day. In terms of the 2K Endo, they're going to have a special sortie exclusive item statue with a base worth of 2K. Of course, you can collect it, or you can add in the stars and trade it in for even more. So we'll see how that plays out. They're talking about credit cost being removed, of course, for the Iton sculptures in Maru, as well as just kind of generally looking over the credit community and in terms of the Sector Electa as well. possibly changing that up a bit because they don't want credit farming to be done based off of one weapon. So there's a rebalance going on in there. They showcased some of the 10th Gen Round 7 winners, and they also showcased the Mag Deluxe, Chroma Deluxe, and a very much work in progress Zephyr Deluxe skins. A new Inaros alternate helmet, some new glyphs that are coming soon, which are basically Warframe character glyphs. Just look pretty cool. Finally, the Helmuth Charger remodel that's definitely coming, which could look much more like Nidus does, which should have happened originally, but you know, we talked about it enough that it actually is going to happen. So good, they're making a change. A little late, but they're making the change. And then we got some really good stuff to kind of hit on in here. Network not responding issues. Some areas are still experiencing this, so they're trying to track it down, figure out what the problem is. Nullifier weak points. The nullifier bubble is going to be scaled with the geometry of the room so that coming weak points will always be visible. This change will also prevent clipping through walls and tight spaces. Hopefully that will actually happen properly. Troposphere Gun is coming, and it will be much more like the Opticore in the gun mechanics. Upon throwing it, it will tether enemies with a radius and deal electrical damage, so that should be interesting. And also has a chance to proc, so that's a shock proc, if you will. Syndicate Assassinations. They mentioned a new system in the War Within released, and currently they're looking into creating procedurally generated enemy cells for clans to take on. They will scale with the size of your clan and serve to create a more long-term engagement with an enemy, as you all work towards the missions to take down the kingpin, the big guy, if you will. Rewards and ranking systems are also being discussed for that, so that should be pretty cool. And then finally we get to the kind of little things at the end, but I think some of these are actually pretty good. Limbo's dodge in and out of the rift mechanic is actually being worked on. New animations are being created that will make that transition quick and easy, hopefully, is what they're saying. The bow is getting a visual rework only. They're looking into, thank God on this one, tweaking the Arcwing orientation system to be less nausea-inducing for certain players. More control options may be added, or the option to remove this mechanic altogether. They should just add that option to just remove the mechanic altogether, and that would make everybody so happy. And maybe some people would actually start playing it again. Finally, they're looking at that. They're also looking at putting in more unique mods on the Cuba Fortress to make that something that people actually play beyond the War Within quest. There is not going to be an out-of-game chat or trading system that is planned at all. They say they're working on dark sectors. So they swear they're working on dark sectors, so we should hopefully see that. And then shield gating is still in the works, but they're working on unbalancing it to prevent permanent invulnerability, apparently. So, yeah. That's kind of just a little quick recap of everything that happened inside of Devstream 86. If you have any comments or questions, please do feel free to leave them below. Otherwise, my apologies for just kind of not being with it. Like I said, just not feeling well, and hopefully I can get better by tomorrow. If not, I may have to go seek some extra treatments. Anyway, I'll keep you guys up to date on that. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.